When you think about royal treasure, you're thinking about gold coins. And let me tell you, few monarchs understood the power of gold like Queen Elizabeth I. She took the throne in 1558 to find a kingdom with a shaky currency. One of her first moves was to restore the gold standard, bringing real value back to England's money. These weren't machine-made coins like we have today. Every single one was struck by hand, hammered into existence. That means each coin is a unique piece of history, with its own little imperfections and character. You can almost feel the 16th century workshop when you hold one. The designs on these coins were all about sending a message. You had the gold sovereign, showing the Queen in all her glory on the throne. Then there were the angels and crowns, all made from pure, beautiful gold. But the one that really gets collectors excited is the ship ryle. This coin wasn't just money, it was propaganda. Minted between 1584 and 1586, it showed Queen Elizabeth standing proudly on the deck of a warship, holding her scepter and orb. It was a bold statement about England's growing strength on the seas, a power that would soon be tested. This coin is a superstar in the numismatic world. The ship ryle is considered one of the last great medieval-style coins, and it's incredibly rare. Finding one is the dream of any serious collector. In fact, just last year, in November 2025, a pristine example sold for a staggering $372,000 at auction. That tells you everything you need to know about its importance. It was more than currency. It was a symbol of an England ready to take on the world, a direct preview of the epic defeat of the Spanish Armada that was just around the corner in 1588. Holding one of these coins is like holding a piece of that very moment. You're connecting with the ambition and confidence of the Elizabethan era. The gold itself has value, of course, but the story is priceless. These coins weren't just used to buy goods, they were used to build an empire's image. They told the world that England, under its Virgin Queen, was a force to be reckoned with. Every transaction, every exchange, spread that message of power and stability. That's the real legacy of these incredible pieces of gold. Fast forward a few centuries, and you get to another Queen Elizabeth who would define an era, Elizabeth II. When she took the throne in 1952, the world was a completely different place. But the power of a monarch's image on a coin, that hadn't changed a bit. In her 70 years on the throne, Queen Elizabeth II's face appeared on more currency than any other person in history. Think about that. Her portrait has been in the pockets and safes of people all over the globe, from London to Sydney to Ottawa. It's an incredible legacy. The Royal Mint produced some of the most iconic gold coins of the modern age during her reign. The gold sovereign, a classic British coin, got a new life with her portrait, starting in 1953. Over the decades, 5 different official portraits or effigies were used, showing her aging gracefully from a young queen to a wise matriarch. Then, in 1987, the Mint introduced the Britannia series. These gold coins became instant classics, featuring the Queen on one side and the powerful symbolic figure of Britannia on the other. They are a staple for investors and collectors everywhere. But the series that really captured everyone's imagination recently was the Queen's Beasts. Rolled out from 2016 to 2021, this collection of 10 gold coins was a masterpiece of design and storytelling. Each coin featured a mythical heraldic beast that stood guard at her coronation ceremony back in 1953. You had the Lion of England, the griffin of Edward III, the red dragon of Wales. It was like something out of a fantasy novel, but it was all real history. Collectors went crazy for this series, and it brought a lot of new people into the coin world. Even after her passing in 2022, the demand for coins bearing her image hasn't slowed down. In fact, it's only increased. People want to own a piece of that historic 70-year reign. The Royal Mint has continued to issue special commemorative editions for milestones like her Jubilees, knowing that her legacy is a powerful draw. These coins aren't just bullion. They are tangible connections to a monarch who was a constant presence in the lives of billions. Every coin tells a part of her long and remarkable story. The Queen's reach wasn't just limited to Great Britain. As head of the Commonwealth, her image graced the coins of many nations, and Canada has a particularly special story. The Royal Canadian Mint produced its own beautiful gold coins featuring Queen Elizabeth II, and they documented her journey through 4 distinct portraits. Each one tells you something about the era it was made in and the relationship between Canada and the Crown. It's a fascinating timeline you can track in pure gold, and collectors love putting the whole set together. The first Canadian effigy, used from 1953 to 1964, was the Mary Gillick portrait. It showed a young, hopeful queen, fresh to the throne, wearing a laurel wreath. It's a classic, elegant design. Then, from 1965 to 1989, they used the Arnold Machine portrait, which depicted a more mature queen wearing a tiara. This is the image many people grew up with. In 1990, Canada introduced a portrait by a Canadian artist, Dora de Pedery Hunt, showing a dignified older monarch. Finally, from 2003 until 2023, they used the Susanna Blunt portrait, a contemporary image without a crown. This progression of portraits is unique to Canadian coinage and makes their gold pieces highly sought after. The story came full circle in a really beautiful way just last year. In August 2025, to mark what would have been the Queen's 100th birthday in 2026, the Royal Canadian Mint released a spectacular commemorative set. It's a 4-coin set, all struck in 99.99% pure gold. What makes it so special is that each coin features one of the 4 different Canadian effigies of the Queen. It's a tribute to her entire reign, all in one package. With a mintage of only 400 sets, you can bet collectors were lining up for it. The reverse of each coin features a simple maple leaf and the Queen's royal cipher, E2R, alongside the dual dates 1926 to 2026. This set is the perfect example of how a nation can use coinage to pay tribute to a shared history. It's a story told in gold, showing the evolution of a monarch and her relationship with the country over 7 decades. For a collector, it's a must-have piece of Commonwealth history. Now, you might be asking, why do Americans care so much about British royal coins? We fought a war to get away from the monarchy, right? But here's the thing. History is history, and Americans love a good story. Queen Elizabeth gold coins, whether from the first or second Elizabethan era, are packed with it. They represent a direct link to a royal legacy that has shaped world events for centuries. When you hold a gold sovereign, you're not just holding a piece of gold. You're holding a piece of the British Empire, of royal drama, of history itself. There's also the simple fact that these coins are beautiful. The designs are often works of art. From the intricate details on a ship rile to the powerful stance of Britannia, these coins were made to impress. The artistry and craftsmanship are top-notch, especially on the proof and commemorative editions. Collectors in the United States appreciate that level of quality. It's the same reason people collect classic cars or fine art. You're buying something that was made with skill and purpose, and its beauty endures through time. And let's be honest, there's the investment angle. Gold is gold. It's a reliable store of value and a hedge against inflation. But these coins often carry a numismatic premium, meaning they are worth more than their weight in gold because of their rarity and collectability. We see it in the shop all the time. Someone brings in a gold coin, and if it's a rare date or a special edition featuring Queen Elizabeth II, it could be worth significantly more than its melt value. Just look at that anonymous person who dropped a Queen Elizabeth II gold coin into a Salvation Army kettle in 2023. That's not just a donation, that's a valuable piece of history. Ultimately, these coins are the total package for an American collector. They offer a connection to a grand, centuries-old royal story that feels like something out of a movie. They are artistically beautiful objects that you can admire. And they are a solid asset with real, tangible value. From the naval power of Elizabeth I to the steadfast reign of Elizabeth II, these gold coins tell an epic tale. And for collectors here in the States, owning a piece of that royal legacy is an opportunity that's just too good to pass up.